ask, Coolio, are you ready?
Big Rich Music.
I'm ready. Let me.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Ways to Better Living. As always, this is your host Coolio bringing you another topic for discussion. And today's topic will be dealing with the financial aspect, and we dealing with talking about banking. As to the banking institution, though that's a wide spect, but we're dealing mostly on that. And the reason why we're dealing on that is so you could understand certain things, why you're paying bank fees and you that go for a loan, and why all of these things are there. That they won't explain them in detail to you, but it is, some of them is in writing, some is not. It's just you will find all these clauses that you don't even think existed. So for this is something that is majority have that deal with banks. Either you have a debit card, credit card, or line of credit, whichever you have, you constantly dealing with banks, especially if you want that have a secular job where you paying tax. You have a bank card for your paycheck to go to, or when your check comes, you can take to the bank. Because you already got a card, it makes it a little bit simpler to cash it. So with this system set up, one thing people do not understand about banking system is that a lot of people will be like, oh, the banking system is different back then. But when you look about the banking system, I'm not going to go too far in history, so this way you don't think otherwise. But what I'm going to say is just the time frame. Though banking system existed a little bit then, but it was still different for the ones that were controlling it, and where the banking system who pretty much gave more of the innovation to let the banking system be the way it is. These are things that people talk about, the mafias that's been around for decades and way back. A lot of people think the mafias it's only in the 60s, 70s that they were. No, they've been around lot longer. It's just these are the only time they will tell you the history about them for you to have a little bit clue. And the reason why a lot of people not paying attention to them is because what they let you know about the mafias is about mostly killing people. But no, these were the banks. Then they were the bankers. They were the banking institution. So that's why it's not mainly because of the drugs that they will want to push to you that they were the banking system. How? You hear of the story or the history they give you about them is before it becomes drugs related, they come to your business and tell you gotta pay protection fee. Why you gotta pay protection fee? Who you paying the protection fee for? To protect your business from the very people who come to you say, pay us so we can protect your business. And always, what do you find is the protection fees? It's more than what you're even making. So you're always in debt with them. And your business, the more you make in your business, the more you got to pay them. Why? They didn't give you the money for your business, but they said it that way. So the banking system, all those simple things that's where the insurance comes from, and all this from that, and the insurance system too is the banking. But we're not going to deal mostly with the insurance because it is another separate aspect of banking system, but it is all one. But it's separate in its own field, but it is still. That's why now banking institution got insurance, that you could buy insurance from them because they're all the same. So now with all this, and the few things that I'm going to let you understand too, is that we always know that you sign agreements when you go for loan, go for mortgage, or whatever, you sign an agreement. Have you ever seen the banking party system sign the agreement that you sign? No. Why? Because they can break that agreement at any time, and even when they break it, guess who's still punished? You that signed the signature, because it is in the clause that at any time they can get rid of you, and it's all in the clause. You don't read that agreement. Why? Because it's just like the ones that for Facebook that you don't read, or your email when you're opening it you don't read, or for YouTube that you don't read. All of it, they're all the same system. That's the agreement. It's there. You won't read it because you don't have the time. You just want to get the things done and move on. So you sign it. But it is in that agreement that they can remove you at any time with no explanation whatsoever. So if they can do that, why can't you? Because you sign that if you do break it, you face the consequences that comes along. That's the system. This is banking system. It is general for other things, but it is still the banking system. And also they tell you have to put your money in the banks for them to protect it for you. Because that word banking, that's what it means, protection. And not only protection for today, but for tomorrow as well. So it's protection at all times. That's pretty much. So you put your money there, and you got restriction from using it as well. Why? Because your money is being loaned out for others to use, and so when you want it, you got certain amount you can only have. So that way you won't have the idea, oh, my money is not there, it's gone. So your money, you pay for them to use it. You're paying them for them to use your money. That is this banking institution. Next, that you will not think of about that is, that's why cards are getting more popular, because they know the amount that people like. If the cash is not enough for everyone to keep cash, so you have to have that system, so it eliminates the use of physical cash. That is why now people, this part of the world, it's already been known, you gotta use the plastic. It's not money anymore. So when you said, oh no, it's not, it's plastic you're using, Even when you watch people showing all this, no, they can have that amount of cash sitting around. They themselves were not comfortable in seeing that amount sitting there, knowing that someone knows that they have it. And why this? Because someone going to come to get it. So, what do you do? To avoid this, you just have to look. I will not give you the ways you can avoid it, but if you listen to your heart and look at these things, you know how to avoid it.
Explain this or you.
The system is set these days where they force you to have that.
Or heart. They want
It's not your choice. You are forced to have it.
you yourself know it. What to do.
Whether you have a job or not, you have to have a bank card. Why?
Someone else thinking that
They said you have to have a bank card so you can be a human being. Did you come with one? No. So you're already a human being without one. But why do you need one? So you could pay them. Just like the mafia were back then. You gotta pay them regardless if your business is thriving or not, or what once they say you need protection from, and they will protect you. That's how it's set, and that's the banking system. So these are some of the things that are there that you will not understand where it generates to be the way it is. And also one thing that I'm going to mention, because how they allow to do this, well, it is the system. The system set these people. The banking system is the system of the world. So you hear they said if you want to control, you have to have what? Money. So who do you think have the control? The ones with the money. Why? Because they tell people what to do, and if you don't do it, he said they don't give you money and life miserable for you. So with that thinking alone, it makes everyone subject themselves to that life. And once you subject yourself to that life, what happens? You're giving up in life, meaning you're not you anymore, because that is not you. You don't want to do it, but you say you gotta make a living, you gotta survive, and that's the way they said you can survive. Is it the only way to survive? No, but you succumb to it. So I'm giving you this so you understand how it is, and the law is on their side, so you cannot defeat them. The only way you can defeat is by not going into it. So, with that says, this is your host, Coolio. As always, God bless and have a wonderful time. And always stay focused.
And make this life a better one. Is that too much to ask? I ask, you ask, what do I want? And that's what I say, that I want. Do what's right, do what's good. That is what